Life's got a funny way of throwing you together with people and situations you never saw coming. This here's a story about Marcus, a big-shot lawyer who wasn't exactly known for being friendly, and Emma, a school teacher who got a raw deal cause of him way back when. Fate, though, it stepped in and brought em face-to-face in a real tight spot, setting the stage for a story about fixing what's broke, making amends, and finding out what really matters in life. So Marcus, he's on his way to pick up his daughter, Lily, from school, and bam, he gets hit with a heart attack outta nowhere. He never would have guessed that the person who'd come to his rescue was someone he'd done wrong in the past. Emma, she could have held a grudge, and who could blame her? But she chose to be the bigger person. That's when things started changing for Marcus, Emma, and Lily, big time. Stick around, because this is a story about giving folks a second chance, the power of kindness, and how you can find connections in the darndest places that can turn your whole world upside down. Marcus was hustling down the city streets, checking his watch every few seconds. He was late again to get Lily, his 10-year-old daughter, from school. Work had been a real beast lately, taking up all his time, and he felt a knot in his stomach thinking about Lily waiting for him. He wheeled into the school parking lot, and then he felt this jabbing pain in his chest. He gripped the steering wheel trying to shake it off, but chalked it up to a stressful day at the office. He took a breath, steadied himself, and hopped out of the car, beeling in toward the school. But after just a few steps, the pain got way worse. It felt like someone was sitting on his chest, making him stumble. He started breathing hard, his vision got blurry. And then, bam, Marcus went down hard on the pavement. A few folks standing around just watched in shock. Emma, she's a teacher at the school, and she was just heading out after a long day when she saw what happened. She recognized Marcus right away, the guy who pretty much ruined her career with some bogus accusation. For a second, she froze, thinking about all that. But then her good heart took over. She ran over to him, checking for a pulse, shouting, "Somebody call an ambulance, quick." Just then, Lily came running out of the school and saw her dad lying on the ground. She let out a scream, "Dad," and ran toward him. Emma stopped her, gently holding her back. "It's going to be all right, honey," she said, keeping her voice calm and steady. "Help's on the way." In that mess, Emma not only helped Marcus, but she also comforted Lily, who was scared out of her mind. When the ambulance showed up, they put Marcus on a stretcher, still out cold. Lily tried to follow, but the paramedics stopped her. She was terror-fed, and she turned to Emma, tears streaming down her face. "Are you coming with us?" Lily asked, her voice shaking. Emma hesitated, thinking this wasn't her problem, but seeing Lily so scared, she couldn't just walk away. "Okay, I'll go with you," she said, trying to sound sure. At the hospital, Emma sat with Lily in that waiting room, trying to keep her mind off things. She told her stories, played some simple games, but Lily just kept switching between being totally silent and breaking down in tears. Emma's heart just ached watching her try to deal with being so scared. Hours went by, and then a doctor showed up with the news nobody wanted to hear. Marcus had a real bad heart attack and was in a coma. They couldn't say when or even if he'd wake up. Turns out Marcus was a widower and didn't have any family close by. The hospital social worker said they might have to put Lily in foster care for a while, but Emma couldn't stand the thought of that little girl being alone in some strange place. After a lot of thinking, Emma made up her mind. "I'll take care of Lily," she told the social worker after a long pause. Memories of all the bad stuff from the past flashed through her head, the backstabbing, the hurt, the sleepless nights. But then she looked at Lily, standing there with those teary eyes, and knew that kid needed her, plain and simple. Even with all the scars from the past, Emma knew she couldn't turn her back on Lily. Emma took Lily back to her little apartment out in the suburbs. It was just a one-bedroom place with a tiny office, but Emma made that office into a bedroom for Lily real quick. It wasn't as fancy as Marcus' house, that's for sure, but it was safe and warm. The first few nights were tough. Lily would wake up screaming from nightmares, calling out for her dad with tears running down her face. Emma would sit next to her, comforting her with stories and talking about their favorite books. Little by little, Lily would calm down and drift back to sleep. During the day, Emma tried to keep things as normal as possible for Lily. She took her to school, helped her with her homework, and made her favorite meals. On weekends, they did art projects and played games, trying to create some happy times to help Lily forget all the fear and sadness. After a while, Lily started to trust Emma. One day, after they visited Marcus at the hospital, Lily grabbed Emma's hand and said, "Thank you for taking care of me, and Emma. I really like you." Those simple words just melted Emma's heart. But it wasn't always easy, not by a long shot. Emma was dealing with a whole lot of mixed-up feelings. She still felt resentful toward Marcus for the pain he'd caused her, but she couldn't help feeling sorry for him, and she genuinely loved Lily. Her friends couldn't wrap their heads around why Emma was putting so much time and effort into the daughter of a guy who'd done her wrong, but Emma knew she couldn't abandon Lily. As the days went by, the bond between Em got stronger and stronger. Then, about 2 months later, Emma's phone buzzed. It was the hospital. Marcus had woken up from his coma. She told Lily right away, and they headed to the hospital. When Lily walked into that hospital room, she ran straight to her dad. "Dad," she cried, tears pouring down her face. Marcus, looking skinny and weak, managed to smile and gave his daughter a big hug. Emma hung back outside the door, giving them some space for their reunion. How does that sound? I tried to make the emotions and the internal conflict really clear through the narrative voice. Ready for the next section. A couple hours later, a nurse came to find Emma. "Mr. Marcus wants to see you," she said. Emma's heart started racing as she walked into the hospital room. Marcus was sitting up in bed, and you could see the regret and gratitude in his eyes. "Emma," he said, his voice all raspy from not using it, "I don't even know how to thank you." Emma didn't say nothing, didn't know what to say. Marcus kept talking. "The nurse told me everything you did for Lily. You took care of her, gave her a place to stay, gave her your time. I don't deserve your kindness." With tears in his eyes, Marcus did something Emma never saw coming. He apologized. He admitted he'd screwed up in the past, how he'd treated her unfairly, how his big-headedness had caused her so much pain. To make things right, Marcus grabbed his checkbook off the bedside table. "Name and amount," he said. "It's the least I can do to repay you." Emma glanced at the checkbook, then back at Marcus. All those memories of stressing about bills and losing her mom flashed through her mind. But then she looked over at Lily, sleeping peacefully in a chair next to her dad. "No, Marcus," she said firm. "I don't want your money. I did all this for Lily, not for you, or for any reward." Marcus was taken aback, clearly not expecting that answer. "But there's got to be something I can do," he insisted. Emma looked him right in the eye. "There is one thing," she said. "Be a better dad to Lily. She's an amazing kid, and she deserves all your love and attention." Emma's words hit Marcus like a punch in the gut. For the first time in his life, he felt like he was seeing things clearly, and it wasn't pretty. While he was stuck in the hospital, Marcus had plenty of time to think. At first, he tried to push the thoughts away, but Emma's words just kept echoing in his head, making him face the stuff he'd been ignoring for years. He remembered how he used to treat folks around him, using his power and money to control everything, and how his arrogance and lack of care had caused so much pain, especially for Emma. For the first time in a long time, Marcus felt something he wasn't used to: regret. Once he got out of the hospital, Marcus started trying to change. He spent more time with Lily, listening to what she had to say and joining on the stuff she liked to do. One day, Marcus noticed Lily drawing and realized she had a real talent for it. From then on, he'd often sit down with her and draw, just enjoying the moment and connecting with her. Aside from his relationship with Lily, Marcus also made some big changes at work. He put in place fairer policies, listened to what his employees had to say, and treated them with respect. People who used to be scared of him started seeing a different side of Marcus, someone who cared about others and saw their worth. With Emma, Marcus didn't try to buy her off with fancy gifts or favors. Instead, he showed his appreciation with small, but real, gestures. He'd ask Emma to come along on their outings, and he always asked her opinion about Lily Shulin. Marcus treated Emma with sincerity. Marcus treated Emma with real respect, not trying to throw his weight around anymore. At first, Emma was still a little wary, not sure if Marcus was really changing. But after a while, she started to see that he was for real. She started seeing a different guy, not the cocky Marcus from before, but a dad who loved his daughter, and a guy who was trying to make things right. Months later, things had settled into a comfortable routine for Marcus, Lily, and Emma. They'd become an unlikely family, brought together by hard times and their shared belief in love and forgiveness. Marcus was all in when it came to Lily. He took her to art classes, went to all her school plays, and would sit with her to draw or read. Lily had turned into a happy, confident kid. They'd often have dinner together at Emma's place, just talking about their days. Emma, who was used to being on her own, now felt the warmth of family. She even smiled when Lily suggested getting a puppy, and soon Emma's little apartment was filled with laughs and the sound of tiny paws. One fall afternoon, after taking Lily to her art class, Marcus and Emma stopped by a park. They sat on a bench, watching the leaves fall around them. Then Marcus spoke up. "Emma," he said, "I know I don't deserve it, but do you think you could ever forgive me?" Emma looked into Marcus's eyes. The arrogance was gone, replaced with real regret. After a moment, she said, "Marcus, I think I already have. Hanging onto anger just hurts me. Forgiving you set me free." Marcus was filled with emotion. Her forgiveness wasn't just a weight off his shoulders. It was a chance to start over. On the one-year anniversary of Marcus's heart attack, the three of them sat on Emma's porch, watching the sun go down. Lily played with her puppy, while Marcus and Emma talked quietly. "I never thought my life could change this much," Marcus said, smiling. "And it's all thanks to you, Emma." Emma smiled back. "No, Marcus, you chose to change. I just helped you see that it was possible." They sat there in the twilight, not knowing what the future held, but sure that they could face anything together. Their journey proved that forgiveness, love, and the ability to change are powerful things. A year and a half after that day Marcus had his heart attack, his life with Emma and Lily was closer than ever. Marcus wasn't just a great dad, he was also Emma's best friend. Together, the three had become a real family, even if it wasn't official. One spring afternoon, as they played in the park with their little dog, Marcus suddenly stopped and said, "Emma, there's something I want to ask you." Emma looked at him, surprised by how serious he sounded. Marcus reached into his pocket, pulled out a little box, and opened it, showing her a simple but beautiful ring. "Emma, you saved my life, brought joy to Lily. All right, I've rewritten that last section. I hope I've captured the emotions and the overall tone you were going for. What do you think?" And completely changed my world. I can't even imagine my life without you." He paused, his voice getting a little shaky. "I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Will you marry me?" Emma was overcome with emotion. All the bad stuff from the past flashed before her eyes. But when she looked into Marcus's honest eyes and thought about Lily, the kid she loved like her own, she knew what she had to say. "Yes, Marcus, I will," she said, smiling through the tears. Lily jumped up and down, giving them both a big hug. The wedding was simple but heartfelt, with close friends, family, and even some of Marcus's old coworkers who'd seen him change. During his vows, Marcus turned to Emma, his voice steady but full of feeling. "Emma, you didn't just save my life. You gave me a second chance to be the man I was supposed to be. Before I met you, I thought power and money were everything, but you showed me what really mattered: kindness, forgiveness, and love. You taught me how to be a better dad, a better friend, and a better person. Today, I promise to honor the trust you put in me and to spend every day proving that you were right to believe in me." Everyone was quiet, moved by his words. Emma, wearing a beautiful white dress, looked radiant as she stood next to Marcus, and Lily was just beaming as their flower girl. After the wedding, the three of them went back to the house they'd decided to build together. It wasn't just a place to live, it was a symbol of the love, forgiveness, and second chances they'd been given. As the sun went down, Marcus held Emma's hand, smiling as they watched Lily play nearby. "Thank you, Emma, for giving me not just a new life, but a family." Emma smiled, leaning her head on his shoulder. "Thank you, Marcus, for choosing to change and for letting me be part of this journey." They sat together, enjoying the peace of the moment. Lily ran over to them, holding her puppy and Logan, Her joy lightened up the sky. Marcus looked at Emma and whispered, "This is just the beginning. Together, we'll build a life full of love and memories." Emma smiled, her heart full of hope. They didn't know what the future held, but they knew they'd face it together, as a family, ready to make the most of every moment.